Welcome to DentonRadio.com, powered in part by Classic of Denton.
Hello, everybody. Good evening, and thank you for joining the Denton Vibe here on DentonRadio.com, right at the studio and on the square. And today we have some really awesome shenanigators. No, we have some really awesome artists and people in our community that we're going to be sharing their story with you guys today. So first of all, I do want to let you know that the Denton Vibe will be moving to Tuesdays. So next week, tune in on Tuesday at 8 o'clock. We will be moving the show to a Tuesday night. So they are my last Monday show. Thank you for being here. We have Bob Ralph and Alex Tayara. And I am so happy to have you guys here because of what you're working on and how you guys are just rapidly growing, and I'm like, let me get them in here before I don't have any more, or they don't have any more time for this kind of stuff. But you guys have been really busy, but we're here today with you because of Tiny Couch Productions, and we're going to talk about that, and we'll get into all the details of that and all the sharing. But first, Bob, tell me who you are, and then Alex, you can tell me who you are.
Okay, I came to Denton in 1969, and it's been my home ever since.
Nice.
And I've worked all over the world and all over the U.S., and but Denton's always home. So I've always lived here, raised my kids here, and grandkids are here. And
nice.
So I'm just a Dentonite.
Deeply rooted Dentonite. There you go. I like that. What about you, Alex?
I am not so deeply rooted yet. I moved here in 2013. And I came, initially I was going to swing through. I didn't even know about Denton. And I came down, and my grandma lives nearby. And so I moved in with her for a bit. I was going to set up, maybe get a job for a while and head down to Austin because I heard that there was a huge music scene in Austin and it was really great. And then, I ended up coming up here, meeting a few folks and getting involved in the open mics around town and meeting people that way and getting really connected into the music scene. And that's how I kind of got my start in Denton was really playing open mics and getting to know, because I think the music is a huge part of what drives this town, and it made me feel at home here.
Yeah, definitely. And you guys both have musical backgrounds amongst other talents. So obviously music, Bob.
I play a little guitar, very, very tiny guitar. But most of my experience in the music world has been on the soundboard. Mm-hmm. So I ran sound at Banter for 4 years.
Yes, you did.
And that's where I love to be. I love doing live sound.
Okay.
So.
And I know you were doing sound for Lost Poet Lounge when we started there in 2014. So, yeah, I remember all that, which he is a veteran Lost Poet, by the way.
Ellie got me on stage several times.
and recently, too. Our new generation of Lost Poets here in Denton. What about you with your singer-songwriter, right? So how long have you been writing?
Oh, writing.
Or singing?
I've been performing. I started performing when I was a kid, but I didn't pick up guitar until I was in high school, probably around 17. Mm-hmm. And then, so it's been about 10 years. And then, but I've been singing since I could talk.
Nice.
And then writing, I started writing when I think I started writing maybe when I was like in college, because I had the guitar and because I had learned a little bit on guitar and was able to kind of do it on my own in that way. So I think I started writing silly songs about a roommate's porcupine or hedgehog.
They had a porcupine?
A hedgehog.
That's interesting.
She had told me a story about a hedgehog, and it was like one of the first songs I remember writing.
Oh, nice.
On my own.
Ode
it was
to the
so
hedgehog.
silly. It was so silly.
But hey, that's how it starts. And
It was
you're like,
great.
I have a talent.
Yeah.
I need to keep doing this.
Sure. Yeah.
So let's talk about Tiny Couch. Okay, Tiny Couch Productions. I obviously you put it in my ear, and ever since then it's been like one of these things where I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so exciting. And I'm so glad that you guys did this. Tell me what Tiny Couch is for those that have never heard of it, or are about to hear about it, because I think in the small amount of time that I have known about it and worked with you on it, it's going to explode. And I'm not just being nice. It is like wildfire. And I think what you guys are doing is an amazing project. And it's your labor of love. So go ahead and tell me about it.
Okay. Not this past summer, the one we just finished, but the summer before, I wanted to record some of the singer-songwriters in town. I stalked Alex. Alex was one of them, and I followed around and wanted to get videos with decent sound. And so I would talk the sound guys in at the venues into letting me plug my recorder in. And then I'd set up my camera and shoot videos and then marry the audio with the video in post. Mm-hmm. And I did that for that summer. And Jake picked the videos up and has been using them here on Denton Radio during breaks and fills. And this summer, this spring, I guess, Jake and I got together and he wanted to know if I was going to do it again. And I came up with the idea of, instead of following the artists around, have set up a little studio where I could really have more control over the light and the audio and have the artists come in. And I thought we would get maybe 4 or 5 of the Denton's, good songwriters, and they'd do 4 or 5 songs. And and I started off with Ellie Meyer, and I put it in June, and I put her session up. I think she did 8 songs, 8 videos, and phone hasn't stopped ringing, and the internet exploded.
I can imagine why.
And to date, we've done. Oh, and it got so crazy, I brought Alex on to help me because I was drowning. Excuse me, but we got. We've been at it for about 13 weeks. We've recorded 41 artists, and we have 214 videos that we did this summer.
Nice.
And it's,
that deserves a round of applause, because I know that's a lot of work involved in all of that. And it's not just it's one thing to be mobile and to take it out and do that. And that is strenuous in and of itself, because you're lugging your gear. You got to wonder what the lighting's going to be like, and you're kind of, a slave to those scenarios and situations, but bringing it into your comfort zone, literally. And obviously the name of it's Tiny Couch Production, so you're bringing it into your very intimate setting, you're bringing it into your home or your comfort zone, and you're inviting people in here to do what they love with what you love.
Right.
And just that many people in the amount of time that you've been doing this is just it amazes me, because I see the work that you have done. I've been there, and I'm just like, man, you are really pumping these out. Running the camera, the sound, and then doing the post-production is just craziness. So I admire you guys for that, and that's why I'm like, give them a round of applause, because it's true. And I know you guys are constantly busy because, for one, you invited the Lost Poet Lounge to come in and do that, and I got a glimpse of how crazy it was for scheduling and people's schedule with your schedule, because you're also a teacher.
Right.
So, thank you for that invitation, by the way. But so let's do some name dropping. What kind of names have been on this list for Tiny Couch Productions? Let's see, because I know we all resonate with our certain favorites here in Denton, and not to say that these that you speak of are favorites, but these are people that you've worked with that would be very familiar to the community, the music community. So,
well, we started with Ellie Meyer, I think was first, and then of course Matt Grigsby got him in. He's been in twice. Bone Doggy, Neely, Rose. Who else? Help me here. Oh,
Lydia Lowe.
Wow, amazing.
Blew our minds.
Yes. I think we'll get to see one of her videos.
Now, I got to see you editing that when you were doing that, and I didn't know who she was, unfortunately, and I wish I had. But when I saw her, I was like, oh, my gosh, she looks amazing. Yeah. She sounds amazing. Yeah. So when you go in there, for people that don't know, the setup is a very tiny setup, but you do get the whole studio vibe. So you're producing a music video very comparable to a demo or an actual, here, this is ready. You can see me. This is what I do. This is what I sound like. Because that sound, when I first saw, it was like, oh, this is cool. I did not expect the quality. Not that you weren't worthy of it, but I didn't imagine that's what was going to happen.
Well, we, I didn't either. I mean, Alex was key when I first got this crazy idea, cobbling together just stuff that was around to make the studio work. Alex sat in the chair for, several sessions while I fiddled with the lights and messed with the microphone, and we did the sound checks, and and I was amazed at the quality of it. And I know when we started, it was almost, I didn't even have a computer that would run the software for doing post.
Oh, wow.
And I had to, I was limping along on a little notebook computer, and it would only run about 10% of what the software was capable of doing. And bless my son, he built me a real monster machine.
Nice.
And now it's like it went from rendering. We went from it would take me an hour and 20 minutes to render a 3.5 minute song, and now it'll do it in 3 minutes and 17 seconds.
That's a big upgrade. And I'm glad you're doing that because you're working and you're constantly busy. So
because I would load up the queue and then go to bed and get up in the morning, and it would still be running.
So what's it like working with Bob in this situation where you've been there kind of from the beginning, and so you're watching his mind unravel before you, and not in a bad way, but I mean your ideas are coming to fruition, and you're just like, I would be really excited to be where you are, to be working with Bob, and just watching the people and the quality of artists that are coming in. Now, I know we discussed this before the show. One of the things that I loved about being with the Lost Poet Lounge at Banter was the fact that the quality of people that he would bring in there, or that you guys would bring into Banter, was not that anywhere else was not, but it was always consistently top-notch performers. It was always quality musicians, very classy, and he invited me to come watch Tiny Couch production with, what was the name of the band? I'm going to get it out of order.
Slightly highly lovely.
I always get them mixed up in order, but I knew who it was. And when I was sitting there watching, I was like, oh my gosh, this is nothing that I would have imagined, and it is so cool, and this is really neat. And then I saw the video, and I was just completely blown away. I mean, it's a really neat project. So what has it been like to be with him from the very beginning, watching his heart idea come to fruition?
It's been awesome. It's been really fun. And I told him, I told him initially, I needed something to do. Like cause we're just, I did. And he's got a lot going on, and it was the tail end of summer. And he initially asked, I just kind of was, I was over at his house. And just hanging out, and he would be telling me all this stuff, and I'd be watching him like lose it. First, like, the computer's taking forever. And I would tell him, like, Bob, like, once he asked me finally, then I felt like okay telling him, like, because we're close. We've been close for a long time, and like kind of like family. And we are honest with each other. And so I think we work really well together.
I do too. I've seen y'all, so I know y'all do.
It's easy, and it's, there's like, we have a lot of respect for each other. But we don't have to be so careful to like step on toe. Like we tell each other how it is.
Yeah.
And so whenever that was happening, it was like he would call me, and I'm like, okay, let's just, we kind of like guide each other. He'll pull me back. I told him initially, like, pull me back and rein me back, because I might like bulldoze you, like just, and he's like, you can't, you don't even. And so sometimes I'll run ahead and he'll pull me back, and he'll run ahead and I'll pull him back. So it's like, we just kind of,
you have a great dynamic.
It's great. I'm so grateful to be a part of this too, initially selfishly, because he was bringing in such awesome performers.
Exactly.
And at the time, I was taking a step back from performing, so I felt like I wasn't as involved in the music scene, and this was a really gentle way for me to ease back into being around, being involved, and being part of the
Yeah.
music scene from a place where I felt comfortable.
And that is a big thing. A lot of people, I mean, we do have a humongous pool of artists and music here, but there's still so many that haven't stepped forward to be
Yes.
that performer, to take that first step. And being this situation, it's a very professionally done project. I am so proud of what you've done, you know, especially because I've seen what you've done. You've created some for the poets and whatnot. And I was just giddy when I saw your videos for my poets. And one of the things about that is that they can sit there in a smaller audience, meaning camera and sound, and they can feel confident and they can build that confidence. And you do build that confidence, and you get comfortable, and you're like, this is going to be fine. So it's a great environment to learn, but not only learn, to have that light shine on you. So I want to show a video of what you guys do. So we're going to show you a quick clip or a video of it. And who's the first video?
This will be Billy Ratcliffe, Palm Reader, and this is one of his original songs.
Okay, so we're going to cue up the video, and you're going to see what Tiny Couch has been doing. And
Oh, palm reader, I want to read my soul. Oh, palm reader, when I'm here below, everywhere I've been, everywhere I go. Oh, palm reader, won't you let me know? You know, gypsy woman in the tent, tell me how my time gets spent. Oh. The scars on me, from my calloused hands to my road-torn feet. I got a broken back, I got a broken heart, and no palm reader, won't you read the stars? You know, gypsy woman in the tent, tell me how my money gets spent. Oh! And I ain't gonna curse you, and I ain't gonna moan. My lifeline is severed, and my love line is torn. And I work every day, good God, down to the bone. And if these hands could tell the story, then you know. No faith healer, lay your hands on me. I don't need a preacher, I want some mystery. And if you speak in tongues, well, brother, I'm all in. Oh, just don't tell me about my wicked life of sin. And I ain't gonna curse you, and I ain't gonna moan. I need some redemption and a heart made strong. And I work every day, good God, down to the bone. And if these hands could tell the story, then you know. Hey, palm reader, did you see the fights? Did you catch me in the back of the barroom nearly every night? And where do I go now? What do I do from here? Yeah, I got me a woman that I love and I hold so dear. And so strange feeling never happened before. And palm reader, won't you tell me more? An old gypsy woman in the tent, tell me how my love gets spent. Oh! And I ain't gonna curse you, no, I ain't gonna moan. My lifeline is severed, my love line is torn. And I work every day, good God, down to the bone. And if these hands could tell the story, then you know. Yeah, if these hands could tell the story,
Very nice. Thanks for sharing that with us. And we'll have one more video for you before the end of the show before it wraps up.
Okay.
But let's go ahead and talk about how you find your artists. Where's your artist pool coming from? So this would be a perfect example.
Well, I did a lot of the booking at Banter, especially early on, and I had just started working off of that list.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is the kind of music that I love, that I relate to. It's the kind of music that's kind of been the soundtrack of my life.
Mm-hmm.
And so the more of it I can get, the happier I am.
Okay, so I know you guys are working very closely to the Denton Songwriters Guild.
A lot of the folks that came out of Banter, out of that time, kind of they were scattered for a bit, and then Matt Grigsby and some other folks like Billy Ratcliffe, Aaron Price, Olivia Countryman, and there's one. Oh my gosh. Landon Taylor. Thank you. They are on they put together the Denton Songwriters Guild. And so a lot of our artists that are on our page are part of the Denton Songwriters Guild. So we went to a meeting not that long ago, their last meeting that they had, and we sat in, and it was pretty much everyone, and they gave us a little shout out. Yeah.
So you guys obviously are pulling from there, but that's not the only place you pull from. So just so everybody knows that you're open to, I mean, you don't have to be a part of that.
That's just convenient.
It is. I was just going to say it's a
easy.
very big convenience for you, but it's also a really great relationship to have with someone else like the Songwriters Guild to be able to, it's an ebb and flow, give and back type of situation. And
I've had several artists that I didn't know: John Earl Maynard, Miranda Kennedy, Vicente Lujan. I had never heard them live, and well, Miranda, I guess I'd heard her once or twice, but they reached out to us, and amazing.
Okay,
I mean, absolutely amazing.
So if somebody were to want to get involved with Tiny Couch Productions, where first of all, you guys do have a Facebook presence. It's Tiny Couch Productions, pretty straightforward. Are they going to be messaging you on Facebook? How do they get connected to you?
Yeah, they can message. They can message either Bob directly. Bob, can I say your last name? Yeah. Bob Ralph, right? Okay, Bob Ralph directly. They can message us on Tiny Couch Productions Facebook. We both check that, and that's pretty much the best way to get a hold of us, or call one of us if you have our numbers.
Well, I do want to point out that you guys do have a YouTube presence, and your channel is growing rapidly because you do have all of those. How many performers or how many videos? 200.
Right now we have 214 videos that we've shot this summer that are all up on the YouTube channel.
Okay, so I highly encourage each and every one of you to go check them out. Go to their YouTube page, subscribe to them. A big part of supporting local music and local artists is just a matter of a click, and I know we're always on social media. You guys are lacking, like 17 before you can go to the next YouTube step of progressing. Right. So let's try to make that happen, Denton. Let's try to support them, and they've got so many people involved already, and it's just a wonderful project. So check them out, Tiny Couch Productions on YouTube, Facebook Tiny Couch Productions, and also Instagram Tiny Couch Productions.
It's at Tiny Couch on Instagram.
Okay, at Tiny Couch on Instagram. We're going to go ahead and play another video, and let's go ahead and play that now.
Okay, this will be Matt Grigsby, Road to Feeling Good.
Okay.
His original song.
Okay.
Every misdeed, every hateful look, write it all down in a little black book. Criticize the sunrise, the way the bells ring. I never could play, but you never could sing. I felt so useless, drowning in the river, running down your wrist. And I didn't know how to keep you afloat, so I just watched you sing. It's plain to see, we're taking life far too seriously. Got to still the mind, unwind, enjoy the ride. And I
I've been hoping that maybe you would stand up, give up all of this moping, and be on the road to feeling good again. You deny the folly of your youth. You're about as humble as a golden tooth, wearing your guitar like a string of pearls. It's always been you versus the rest of the world. You rely on prayer, well, you don't believe in luck. Go out and get drunk and wreck your truck, but we'll still be in church the very next day, passing plastic wisdom like he often played. It's plain to see, taking life far too seriously. Got to still the mind, unwind, enjoy the ride. I've been thinking that maybe you should slow down on all of the drinking and be on the road to feeling good again. Well, I know that you've been hurting. You accept that hurt, you know. One day you'll turn around and love will find you. May you never leave its road. Whoa, 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 whoa. We misused our word. You were into butterflies, I'm more into birds. Picking and grinning, smoking and painting. Two struggling artists tired of waiting. My mind darts back and forth. Tongue called the path, you floated up north. I thought there was a woman, but you'd never tell. Just know through it all, I still wish you well. It's plain to see, taking life far too seriously. Got to still the mind, unwind, enjoy the ride. And I've been pondering what it is you're searching for, and all of you wondering. Hope you're on the road to feeling good again. But I hope you're on the road to feeling good again.
That was awesome, and that was Matt Grigsby.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's going to be doing an album release, right? Tell me a little
Yes,
bit.
he is. His album is coming out, and he's doing an album release show at Dan Silverleaf on October 5th.
Okay, so there you go. Make sure you check out their YouTube page. It has a whole library of all of the artists. We unfortunately ran out of time. We were going to do another video, but we will be featuring Lydia Lowe's video on the Denton Vibe with Diva Girl Ellie on Facebook, and we'll post her video there. But definitely check out the library because there's so many more videos of all these artists. If you guys want a Tiny Couch Production sticker, we are going to leave some here at the studio so you can pick up a sticker till they run out. And thank you so much, you guys, for coming out here and sharing. Of course. I mean, it's always fun being around you guys. I love working with y'all, and I'm so blessed to be your friends. Or your friends. So thank you so much for doing the show with me. I cannot wait till everybody just gets on the Tiny Couch Production bandwagon. So thanks again. Remember, next week we will be going live to you on a Tuesday at the same time here on DentonRadio.com. Thank you so much for being here with us today. Have a great one.
Well, thank you for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed the show. Be sure to check out DentonRadio.com for new Denton artists and where they're playing next. While you're surfing the internet, make sure you check out our friends Classic of Denton at ClassicofDenton.com.